Hello, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to another Tea Time with Tia for Geek Vibes Nation. It is official. I'm sorry if you guys can hear that. It's officially October. It's Halloween season. As you can see, I am very excited for Halloween. And I'm also super excited that we are having the virtual New York Comic Con go on this weekend. Very cool. Just so many amazing things. I mean, obviously, it's not the same as being there in person, but it's what we have so far. I am a bit excited because, and this has nothing to do with the actual video right now, but right before I hopped on here, I saw that they released an official full length trailer for CBS's all access upcoming Stephen King adaptation of The Stand with Alexander Skarsgård as Randall Flagg, and it looked amazing. I may have to do a tea time about that, but this tea time is about American Gods Season 3, the teaser trailer that we were given yesterday. So, American Gods had a panel for Season 3 during the virtual New York Comic Con where a bunch of our favorite characters, well, our favorite actors, came on to tease the upcoming third season. I will say that as a short review of that actual panel, we weren't given, say, a whole lot because obviously they didn't want to give away a ton of spoilers. So I think everything that they said kind of just almost not sounded the same, but clearly they made it seem as if we're going to be getting a bunch of background stories, not only on Laura Moon. Emily Browning had explained that you'll find a little bit more about Laura Moon that will maybe make you sympathize with her a little bit more, as she says, not entirely forgive her for the things that she's done, but maybe explain a little bit as to why she is the way she is. She also said, which did make me excited, that her and Salim are going to have more interactions in season 2, which is great because, well, it's not great that Matt Sweeney is dead, which Laura Moon says that she is not, like, Laura isn't going to be dealing with that too well. And the Jinn is not in season 3, so Omid, who plays Salim, said that, you know, he's going to have to learn how to stand on his 2 feet, and that essentially the Jinn being around was kind of a crutch for him. And so you'll have Salim kind of learning to be on his own, and now you have Laura, who has also lost someone. So the two of them losing someone kind of brings them back together. And if you're a fan of American Gods, you love the interactions between Laura and Salim in season 1. We didn't get a lot of them in season 2, really just one interaction. So the idea of Laura and Salim having multiple moments together is very cool. I believe Emily Browning had said that one of her favorite scenes was just the scene between Laura and Salim speaking, and that's really cool. I am excited about that. We also got from the New York Comic Con panel that Quiss is going to be going on her own journey, and that we are going to find out more about Technical Boy. Bruce Langley was saying that because Technical Boy has essentially lost 8 of his 9 lives with Mr. World, that he's on thin ice, and a lot of what made Technical Boy is stripped away, so it's him dealing with that. I know that, like, and I've talked about this before in other American Gods tea times that I've done. I actually just recently did something where I recapped season 2. I'll link that in the description below. But even though Shadow Moon is the star of American Gods, and certainly Ricky Whittle plays him very well, he's just not, to me, the most interesting character. And I just find myself more interested in other characters of American Gods. So, and I have said this before as well, Then I'm extremely sad about Matt Sweeney not returning. I'm extremely sad about Mr. Nancy not returning, the Jin. But I am happy that at least Bill Quiss and Technical Boy are there, and the fact that I saw both Yetedi and Bruce in the New York Comic Con virtual panel just made me very happy. They're just great big rays of sunshine. So, let's get to the actual teaser trailer that they showed at the end of the panel. Because I've been watching a few of the panels of this New York Comic Con virtual event, and I forget now what. Oh God, what was I watching on Thursday? Shit. Um, Oh, the Utopia. I was watching the Utopia panel on Thursday, and they didn't announce a season 2 yet. They did show some deleted scenes. My whole point is that I was wondering while watching American Gods panel if we were actually going to get a first look, because they didn't make it seem as if that was going to happen. They didn't show anything in the middle of the panel, which is what they had done, say, with Utopia. So by the time we were getting close to the end of the panel, I was like, they haven't shown anything yet. Are they going to? But it was really cool at the end of the panel. They kind of showed like the host. I believe his first name is Chancellor from EW. But all of a sudden you see like the screen start to glitch out, and the new gods with Danny Trejo and Dominique Jackson, who are making their premiere as different variations of World this season, kind of announced like, I forget now what they said exactly, but it was essentially like, oh, you thought, blah, blah, blah. And like, here's the teaser trailer for season 3. And it's like, oh, yes. And it basically starts off with, we know that Shadow's going to Lakeside. We know that Mr. Wednesday is looking for him, but Shadow tells Wednesday in the teaser trailer in the beginning, like, I don't do your bidding anymore. And we kind of saw at the end of season 2 how that would be the case. Not only did Shadow found out a lot in the end of season 2, as I said in a previous video of mine. He finds out that Mr. Wednesday is his father. He finds out that Mr. Wednesday orchestrated the murder, essentially, of Laura Moon. And because because Shadow was acting in part for Mr. Wednesday, he ends up killing Matt Sweeney. So he tells, Mr. Wednesday, I'm pretty much done with you. But then, so you have that, and then Mr. Wednesday at some point says to Shadow, make sure you, I guess, stay in touch with him. He can get lost in here or something like that. And then you see Shadow step out of this kind of, looks like an RV or something, and just seeing like these beautiful colors. And then we suddenly get like more of the season. And I have to tell you, I was super sad that the freaking thing that we see is Matt Sweeney's dead body, because I knew that Pablo Schreiber wasn't really coming back for season 3, but I still was kind of holding out hope. But then when we see his dead body, I was sad. I was upset. But what I wanted to point out about that was, you see Matt Sweeney's dead body, and you see that it's clearly been tampered with. And I know this is going to be a little graphic, but you see that his eyes have clearly been removed, and something is written across his forehead, although I can't necessarily make it out. Believe me, I paused that trailer and tried to look at it, and I can't really make it out, so I'm not sure what's happening with that. And then the very next scene, now, this is going to be my theory here, and I could be wrong. Again, I tried to pause it, and I tried to take a look and stuff like that to see if I could, make it out properly. But the next scene that you see in that teaser trailer is what could be assumed as Marilyn Manson, and I know that Marilyn Manson has been confirmed for season 3, so if that's what it was, that's fine. But, and this is going to sound really weird, but like, I am a fan of Pablo Schreiber's. I've seen plenty of his work. I feel like I know what his face looks like. So even though there was a ton of makeup, you only see from like here up, and you see the eyes, and it's like, I feel like that's Pablo Schreiber, and maybe they're just being cheeky and not confirming it. Then again, I did post a screenshot of that on Twitter, and I said, hey, this person looks familiar. And everyone's like, oh, that's Marilyn Manson. And I looked up pictures of Marilyn Manson, and I was like, I guess that could also be him. But it's like, whoever it was had very long, like, white hair, obviously, like, white face paint with, like, a lot of black around the eyes. So it very well could be Marilyn Manson, but I feel like looking at the nose and stuff, it looks like Pablo Schreiber. And I just find it way too coincidental that they show that scene exactly after they show Matt Sweeney's dead body that doesn't have any eyes in it, and then the very next scene, whoever that is really focusing in on the eyes. I don't know. Again, it could be Marilyn Manson, but I just feel like I don't know. I don't know. They're not confirming anything for season 3, and I could totally be speculating here. But if anyone else saw that and kind of like did a back take for a second, let me know. But anyway, let's move forward. The teaser looked great. It looked a lot darker than previous seasons, and I did see someone else caught on to that as well, so I am happy that I wasn't the only one. Not only in like the style of how it is, because like let's be honest, right? Every season has had a different showrunner, so every season feels a little different than the other season. And granted, every show should transform as it goes on, but this season certainly does feel a little if anyone can hear that, it's Yonkers. You hear shit all the time in Yonkers, things happening outside. So I apologize if anyone heard that. But my whole point of saying is that the season should always feel different, and this one certainly feels darker how it is. In the New York Comic Con panel, Neil Gaiman, who is the person who wrote the original book, and he has a lot to do with the actual show, did say that season 1 felt more like an anthological series. And I do agree with him. I do agree that that's exactly how season 1 felt. I have often said that season 1 always felt like a little choppier than, say, season 2. Season 2 got fucking ripped to shreds, and I actually really like season 2. Season 3, I had my reservations, still kind of have my reservations a little, just with the whole controversy between Orlando Jones and the new showrunner, Chick, but I do have to say that it looks good. The trailer for season 3 looks good. It looks really dark. You can see obviously a lot of the themes from the book. I mean, Shadow is in Lakeside now, and you obviously can see that. There's some scenes that obviously to me stand out from the book, but there are a lot of characters that have been invented strictly for the show that never premiered in the actual book, and one of them being the new leprechaun that we're getting that obviously is interacting with Laura. And the one thing I said, I was like, poor Laura has to think like, Jesus Christ, another freaking leprechaun. Which is so strange to see that actor as that character, because apparently from what they described is that the new leprechaun is a very overly positive person, and considering it's played by the same actor who played Ramsay from Game of Thrones, I have trust issues here. But Laura is clearly going through some crazy shit in season 3 that we see with her. There was at some point where she's like going through a door and dropping into water, or something is like a ceiling is crashing in, and at some point we literally see her starting to look as if she's disintegrating into sand, and it's like, what is happening to Laura Moon? Obviously Laura Moon, like, she had a role in the book, a role that continued throughout the book, but not nearly as big as she has in the show, and it seems like they are taking some liberties, which I'm fine with. taking liberties with American Gods is why we got so many scenes with Matt Sweeney as opposed to like the 2 or 3 pages that he got in the actual American Gods book. But I am very curious to see what's going on with Laura. I mean, there's at some point where she's like opening up her chest literally, and you can see her ribs, whatever. And I saw someone say, like, I have a feeling Laura isn't making it out of this season, which would be crazy if they don't get to the actual end of the book, because then that's another character that the show is kind of diverting away from their, say, continued importance in the book. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But I certainly hope Laura Moon makes it out of this season alive. I believe that Emily said that there is at some point where Laura becomes deader than she already is, so that's cryptic to say the least. But still looks great. I enjoyed. We got a little scene of Celine. We got a look at some of the new characters that will be featured. Some again that are featured in the book. Some that are not featured in the book. The 2 people that stood out to me the most, besides the little dead body Mad Sweeney cameo that we got, one was Technical Boy, which, as I said before, Bruce Langley said that we're going to see Technical Boy being on thin ice with Mr. World, which doesn't surprise me. In season 2, Technical Boy was literally retired because of the thin ice that he was on with Mr. World. So him being Quantum Boy, Quantum Boy at the end of season 2 seemed to really be kind of void of personality. I'm not sure what we're going to see in season 3. In the trailer for season 3, Technical Boy is seen to be in some sort of pain. He looks crouched over. He looks like he is kind of doing like this, and there looked like there was blood on his hand. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. But I'm a fan of Technical Boy, as I said in the past. So I mean, I'm excited what they're going to do with his character. But we also see Danny Trejo and Dominique Jackson as the World variations, and then we see Crispin Glover as Mr. World as well. And I'm pretty excited. Danny Trejo looked great, and Dominique Jackson looked pretty freaking stylish. So I am interested in seeing what they bring to Mr. World. Obviously, it's different actors playing the character, so you're going to get some sort of difference. But are we going to really feel like this is Mr. and Ms. World, or are we going to feel like they're different characters entirely? To me, that's important. Like, I will give the example of Supernatural, right? With Supernatural, Jared Padalecki, and this could just attest to me thinking that he's a very good actor, but we've seen Jared Padalecki play Lucifer and Gadriel on Supernatural after, say, other actors have played these characters, like Mark Pellegrino playing Lucifer or Tamo Pennicott playing Gadriel, and Jared Padalecki was still able to feel as if he's playing those characters despite being another actor. So I'm wondering if that's how we're going to feel here, or if it's intentionally supposed to be different. We shall see. The last person I want to say about the teaser trailer for American Gods Season 3 was Bill Quiss. Bill Quiss also had a very, very, very minor role in the book and comes to a really unexpected end, which I won't spoil, just in case they're deciding to go in that direction for the show, even though I really think that would be kind of foul if they did that, but we will see. Anyway, Bill Quiss seems to be going on her own journey, according to Yetedi, which I apologize if I'm not saying her name correctly. Bill Quiss isn't on the new God side, and she isn't on the old God side, and she too will be going on her own different journey. We see, as from the trailer and from what Yetedi said, that she will be meeting the Orishas. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I apologize. But, she's just going to be figuring out who she is as well. And she's already a fantastic character. You know how much I love Bill Quiss. You know how much I think that Yetedi needs to play Storm in the MCU. But she just looks so powerful in some of the scenes that she's in. And I'm just really pumped. So As far as teaser trailers go, I think this was a good one. I think it elicits emotional reactions. It elicits this sense of like dread and horror. I think it definitely shows that they're in a more concise storytelling mode as opposed to season one and even season two. So, I mean, as much as I am saddened by the, controversy that has gone on behind the scenes, I am still excited. It's nice seeing that it looks like Ricky and Yetedi, Bruce, Omid, and Emily do have a nice relationship with each other. So, I mean, that's always good. I root for this show. I really do. Because even before everything that happened with Orlando Jones, people were dissing the show. It obviously had its controversies. Even Neil Gaiman said that, season two behind the scenes had its moments. And I root for the show. I really hope it gets a fourth season. I hope that we're at least able to get to the end of the book. I think it was interesting. I think months and months ago, there was a text message conversation between Musa Kreish and Omid. Musa Kreish, who played the Jinn. The two of them talking about just wanting to be able to tell the story that was in the book and tell the story that they always wanted to tell. And this was even after Musa had announced that he wouldn't be in season 3. So I agree with them. I want them to be able to at least get to the end. So I hope season 3 is good. I hope people watch despite everything, so we can at least get to the end of the book. Like, that's all I want. Just get to the end of the book and I'll be good. If that even ends in season 4, then fine, at least we know it. But my one thing is that American Gods season 3 won't come out until early 2021, and I'm like, oh my god, if it's done, can you please just release it this year? The second season released in 2019. I need it. I need it, and I need it to happen so that it can get renewed and so that the cast can start working on season 4. That's what I need. And I just need to see what happens, because there was so much that was left unsaid in the second season finale. So much that is, I feel, there's so much writing on this season, I feel like. So I just hope that it's a good one. I hope that it comes out soon. And I love to hear what you guys have to think about the teaser trailer for season 3. Please make sure that you check us out at both Twitter and Instagram, Geek Vibes Nation. And also, we are sponsored by the Coldest Water Bottle, which I will link that description down below. So make sure you check that out as well. And in general, please keep an eye on Geek Vibes Nation, me also on Twitter and Instagram at TFAV, because I am a huge American Gods fan, and I feel like this panel and this trailer really just got me pumped up again for this show, and I'm kind of sad that now I have to wait a few months. Sorry, that was my dog. Lady. She just attacked one of the cats. That's what she does. But anyway, everyone, have a wonderful Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you for tuning in for another Tea Time with Tia. Bye. Say bye, lady.